Hey everybody, OzoneB here, and in my last world building Let's Play video, I made an iron farm. I looked at a few different designs from a few different people and decided to go out on my own and make my own design. It's really a conglomeration of other people's designs, but I thought I'd showcase it here in a video on how to make the iron farm. In 1.18, iron can be a little hard to come by early in the game. You're so focused on getting diamonds that you go down so deep that you don't really find iron anymore. And it's kind of a pain to go mining at other Y levels or up in the mountains to go get it where it does spawn in more frequent amounts. So making an iron farm is something that you have to do somewhat fairly early in your survival world. This design is super simple, it's low budget, and all it really takes is a flat area, much like the plains that we're in. Plains are really common, but even if you are up there in the mountains, you can make a flat area big enough for this just as easily. So here's a quick list of all the resources that we're going to need for this farm. So all we really need is a flat area big enough for a 12 by 12 square of slabs. This area may not be big enough, but we'll flatten out as much as we need. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now inside our square of 12 by 12, that leaves an open area of 10 by 10. And if you put a water bucket in each corner, you will see that the water goes and stops into a 2 by 2 area in the middle. This is where we will be digging down and where the iron golems will be going to be burned up. This is good to just verify that we have the right shape and that the center is identified. So let's stop up the water because we don't want to be messing with the water while we're building it. Off to one side, in line with the center, come all the way to the wall and come up 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And off of this block, place 2 walls. 1, 2. This is where the zombie is going to stand, but we're going to have some flowing water here on top of the walls. So come back and place 2 temporary blocks on top of the walls, and then encase these 2 temporary blocks with glass. Now glass may be something that you're struggling to get early game, but it is a non-spawnable block, and I think it's going to be worth it for this farm. Then we want to put a bucket of water into this first space. We want to place it against the glass so that it flows. If, however, you place it on the wall, it's just going to waterlog the wall and run down. So we don't want that to happen. We'll bring this up another 2 blocks on each of the sides, but we want to bring this one in 1 so that we make a 1 by 1 chute in which the zombie is going to be resting in. We need the water to be flowing, but this is, see how it makes me bob up and down in here? That's what the zombie is going to be doing, and that's exactly what we want, because we do want the zombie to be breaking its line of sight with the villagers every now and again. Now off of this front piece of glass, place 2 temporary blocks and then 2 more temporary blocks. And this is where we're going to be placing a bed for a villager. We'll come to the side 1 and make another little platform for a bed. And then the other side 1 and make another little platform for a bed. Editor Ozone here. I'm noticing that in this clip, the beds are facing the wrong direction. I did change it during the build, but apparently never made a clip. So turn those beds around, make it so those pillows are facing away from the zombie, and everything will be good. And now back to the video. Eventually we want to take these away, but while we're here, we probably also want to make a staircase for getting the villager up into the beds. Now the best way to do this is to wait until nighttime, and when nighttime comes around, those villagers will want to just run up to their beds all by themselves, and you don't have to do anything. And once they're in bed, just take away all of the blocks. We also want to make a set of steps for the zombie that we're going to have to lure up into this cage. Now when we lure the zombie up, we want to be using a trapdoor in order to make them want to walk across. So what I like to do is I like to put another couple blocks past here and then put 2 blocks on either side, and that makes it so the zombie has no choice but to walk across this trapdoor, which is going to be open when he's ready to walk across it. This trapdoor is really good because, one, it's a way to trap the zombie in there, but it's also a way to turn off the iron farm. With the trapdoor open, the zombie's going to be bobbing up and down, but if you ever want to stop the iron farm, just close the trapdoor. When you go to find a zombie, you're going to have to deal with other mobs, but for this example, I'm just going to use one of these creative eggs. You want the zombie to be able to pick up blocks. So lead him along, throw some blocks out there, and if the zombie picks up the block, you're good because that zombie will not despawn while it's holding a block. If it doesn't hold a block, well, get rid of it and find another zombie. You want to get your zombie in first because if you get the zombie in after you've already got villagers, they could start spawning iron golems before you're ready. So let's see you go in. Boop. You're good. One last thing you want to do before cleaning up is put a bottom slab, over the top where your zombie is. 1, the bottom slab will keep this area from spawning a golem, and number 2, it'll keep your zombie from burning up in the daylight. The next part is getting the villagers up there. Now, like I said before, if you bring over the villagers and wait till nighttime, they'll want to just run straight up into that bed, all by their little old lonesome. How you get them over here is completely up to you. You can use mine carts or boats or whatever, but we just used a spawn egg because it was easy. Once they're in their beds, we can get rid of all the temporary blocks because we don't want them ever going away. Now we have to spawn proof the area around the platform so that the golems only spawn within this platform. Now, because of the arrangement of the beds and how they're slightly off center from this hole, we need to spawn proof 5 blocks out from the edge of this ring. And the best way to do that, the cheapest way to do that, is to simply make all of these grass blocks into path blocks. And we don't even care that the terrain isn't completely level. We can just make all these path blocks all the way around. On this side where the zombie is, we only have to spawn proof 1 block out. Now these grass bits sometimes get in the way. They won't let you make a path block on them, but the best way to clear all that out is just put down a bucket of water and wash it all away. But that's what these shovels are for, is to make all the path blocks. I don't really know how many you'll need, but probably a couple stone shovels will be enough. Now that we have the area around the spawning platform spawn-proofed so that golems will only spawn in this grassy area, we need to focus on this hole and how we're going to kill them. The best way to kill an iron golem is with lava. So we want them to fall into this hole and fall into lava so that they burn up quickly and die quickly. We have to make this at least 2 blocks deep so that the golem doesn't get out. But we really probably want to make it at least 3 because then it makes it easy for us to get in here and work. If the lava is at our head, we've still got 2 blocks to keep us safe. Since a golem is 3 blocks tall, the golem's head will always be in lava. However, if it's only 3 blocks deep, the efficiency of the farm is going to be cut drastically because the villagers can detect a golem within 16 blocks of where they are. So the golem will sit here, and while it is getting killed, which takes about 15 seconds, those villagers still detect that the golem is nearby and feel like they're safe. Then we have to wait another 30 seconds after the golem has died for the villagers to once again spawn a golem. So you're taking a 30-second timeout and making it be at least 45 seconds, which is at least a 50% reduction in efficiency. However, if we make this tube deeper, the golem will drop out of their range, and therefore that 30-second countdown will begin a lot quicker. So while we're killing the golem down there with some lava, the villagers will still be going through their 30-second cooldown and trying to spawn another golem. The villagers are currently 6 blocks above this ground level, so the extent of their detection range is another 10 blocks down. However, because the golem is 3 blocks tall, we need to get it go another 3 blocks to get it completely out of their detection range. So it's 6 blocks from the villager to the ground. We've already dug 3 blocks here, so we need to go 10 blocks more for a total of 13 blocks deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now this is where the golems can land. But of course we want a hopper to collect all their goodies, and so that can go there. So first we need to create the lava blade, or put in some lava to kill the golems. So at the level where our head is, we're going to be putting up 2 signs on each side for a total of 4 signs. Your face should be looking at the sign. We can take the lava, and just 1 bucket of lava is sufficient to put it on top of the signs, and see, we're standing in here perfectly safe. Now, we want to collect all the goodies from the golems. So, we also need to dig a way out. So, we need to put in a chest here. Let me get around, and a hopper going into that chest. The last thing we need to do is put in some slabs here above the chest. We can still open the chest, but that's going to stop the water from flowing. If we put the water in the opposite corner of where the hopper is, it should still get everything and bring it into the hopper just fine. Now at this point, we can't go back up, so better get to digging and digging a way out. Now since we know that the edges of our trough are 4 blocks from the edges of this killing chamber, we've got 1 block here, 2 block here, 3, 4. So now the lip of the platform is going to be this one, 5. And so we should only need to go 6 blocks out. And if we go straight up, we come out right on the other side of this lip. And you'll need ladders to get in and out. And now all we have left to do is put in the water and then flip up the trap door to start scaring the villagers. And hopefully, there we go, see a golem start spawning. And this will keep on going. As long as you're in the area, this will keep on working day and night. And now, a few warnings and caveats about the farms, because you're going to want to make a build around it, most likely. This area out here that is spawn-proofed, you can build here. You can place solid blocks and make a wall, but just remember to probably turn off the iron farm while you're doing this, because a golem can spawn here. But also to do something to spawn-proof every block that is a full block within this area that has been pathed out and otherwise spawn-proofed. Now, it is important to note that you may want to cover your villagers. And one of the ways that you may try to decide to do that is to extend these slabs over the villagers. Now, there's a couple reasons you do want to cover the villagers, but you do not want to do this. First, you do want to cover your villagers because lightning can turn them into witches. And I've had this happen in another iron farm in another server. But villagers can spawn a golem up to 6 blocks above their feet. When it spawns an iron golem in, it looks at the topmost Y level where there's a block and then determines if it's a valid spawning location. And so if you cover this entire water area with slabs at this level, you will get no iron golems spawning. So that limit for villagers is 6 blocks above their beds. If you go 6 blocks above their beds and then put in a cover, you will be fine. Your golems will still spawn. Occasionally, a golem that spawns over here will be able to see the zombie up through these walls. I didn't tell you to do it at the time, but you may want to put something at the bottom of these walls like I've done here in order to keep a golem from being able to see the zombie. If the golem is able to see the zombie, he will try to move toward the zombie, and that will keep the golem stuck at the lip of the pit here and not fall down like we want them to. One last tip about spawn-proofing the area is your little exit hole here. If you put a trapdoor, and that trapdoor is on the same level as the blocks around it, that is a valid spawning space for an iron golem. Instead, you want to put it at the bottom of the block, and that will keep this area spawn-proofed, as that is not a valid spawning location. So you've got to be really careful about how you spawn-proof the area around where your iron farm is, and how you cover the iron farm as well. So that's it, a super simple iron farm design that uses very minimal resources. I hope you find it useful, and I hope you can use it in your survival world like I did in mine. Thanks for watching. Remember, be excellent to each other. I'm out.